I'm Andy Posner. I'm our founder and CEO, and really pleased to welcome all of you and the governor and the commissioner for an exciting announcement. We are a nonprofit lender focused on the intersection of poverty and climate and environmental justice. And as part of our mission, we provide loans to lower income families to put solar panels on the roof, to invest in energy efficiency. And in this time of climate change and rising gas prices and geopolitical instability, we believe it's more important than ever to encourage what's called electrification, part of which is enabling electric vehicles to be more accessible to working families. And that's the reason why we decided to install the electric vehicle charging station that's behind me, because we need more stations like this in working communities so that it's accessible for the families that we serve and for the broader public. We also will be installing solar panels on our roof because we want to walk the walk and talk the talk. This station is available 24/7 to anybody either driving through, this is right off I-95, or folks in the community. And it's extraordinarily easy to use. And before I introduce the governor, I actually would like to have my employee Kevin, who has this lovely Nissan Leaf, demonstrate the ease with which you can plug in. So, Kevin?
Always got to use a phone to start everything these days. Wait till it contacts. Don't trip over the cord.
And there you go.
And you just did. Oh no.
Thanks.
Yes.
And an electric car is 3 to 5 times cheaper per mile to use. So, with that, it's my pleasure to introduce the governor of Rhode Island.
Great. Thank you. Well, thank you, Andy, and thank you, the Capital Good Fund. I think everybody can agree that that was a nice, easy step for the station, and the Capital Good Fund reality really is a leading example. First, with this charging station, and also with solar aspirations, you are helping to make electric vehicle charging more accessible in your neighborhood, and I thank you for that. I want to recognize Commissioner Ucci, as well as Director Alviti, who's back there, Director, and Director Gray as well. When I signed the Act on Climate last spring, I committed to supporting Rhode Island's transition to clean and affordable energy. And this is part of our commitment. More access to electric vehicles means less greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere, and that is a key driver of climate change and pollution-induced health impacts, especially in our frontline communities. I'm proud to announce here today that Rhode Island residents and businesses will soon have access to electric vehicle rebates that will help meet their transportation needs and do so in a more sustainable way. We expect this rebate program will open this summer after a public review and comment process. Commissioner Ucci, who is leading this effort, will speak more about this in just a moment. Additionally, my budget proposes $23 million in federal funds to expand our network of electric vehicle charging stations. This will make sure we can offer more convenient and accessible charging locations. When combined, these investments will encourage more Rhode Islanders to choose electric vehicles and support our state's progress toward a net zero emissions by 2050. I want to once again thank Andy for doing his part in supporting our goals, and now with that, I'd like to turn it over to our State Energy Commissioner, Nicholas Ucci. Nick.
Well, thank you, Governor, for that introduction, and thank you for your climate leadership. I also want to acknowledge Andy and the Capital Good Fund for their efforts to support electric vehicle charging in the community, as well as my state colleagues who are here today. Governor, since you signed the Act on Climate last year, our team has been working to advance important greenhouse gas emission reduction strategies across our electric, heating, and transportation sectors. We've been collaborating across the administration through the EC4 with energy and environmental stakeholders, lawmakers, and with engaged citizens to explore the needs of our community as we develop vitally important pathways toward a net zero emissions economy by 2050. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Office of Energy Resources is committing $1.25 million to provide electric vehicle rebates to local residents, small businesses, nonprofits, and public sector entities. The program, called Drive EV, will support the purchase or lease of new and used electric vehicles that will help reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the transportation sector. When launched, qualified Rhode Islanders may be eligible for up to $2,500 for a new or leased battery or fuel cell electric vehicle, and rebates up to $1,500 will be available for used EVs. Incentives for plug-in hybrid vehicles will also be made available at reduced amounts. Further, we are mindful that many of our neighbors wish to participate in the fight against climate change, but find some investments just out of reach. So therefore, we are proposing to provide additional incentives, up to $2,000 for income-qualified Rhode Islanders. But it's not just individuals who will be eligible to participate. Our fleet incentive structure will support EV adoption by Rhode Island small businesses, nonprofits, and public sector entities. We are planning to provide additional incentives to those entities and municipalities with the highest asthma rates here in Rhode Island. Now, the incentives I've just described are still subject to change. As Vice Chair of the EC4, I am excited to present our program design to the Council at our next meeting, now scheduled for April 7th. At that time, we will begin accepting public feedback on the program and taking those comments into consideration before finalizing and opening the Drive EV program this summer. Importantly, no general revenue will be used to support this initiative. Programs and investments like this one are vital to Rhode Island's fight against climate change, and they are critical to addressing climate-induced public health challenges, such as asthma, in our communities, especially frontline neighborhoods that often bear a disproportionate share of these burdens. These commitments are also vital to our economy, creating new and vibrant opportunities for investment and job creation across the green economy. We have a lot more work to do, but I'm confident that Rhode Island, as it has always done, will answer the call. In closing, I want to thank the OER team in attendance today for their efforts. Raise your hands. And I want to especially acknowledge my staff lead on clean transportation issues, Sarah Canabaro, who's done some great work getting us to this point.